Her Valentine's date. Just another day. My partner called in sick, leaving me to do both our jobs. Heck of a thing to learn as I sat in the parking lot at work, watching the sunrise. I stole a few moments anyway, looking up recipes. Most were too hard or made me dubious as to their taste, but I bookmarked a few. Today's Friday, but tomorrow's Valentine's Day. My husband is such a wonderful man. He's not always the most verbal guy, but he's so loyal and strong and kind. I don't deserve his love, but I'll do my best to show him how appreciated he is. I was bone weary by the time I got home and put the groceries away. I laid down in bed. I needed to get up in a few minutes to start dinner prep, but first, I just needed to close my eyes for a couple minutes. I wake up with my husband touching me and smile happily. I love him so much. I savor his presence, then startle fully awake. I didn't turn on the porch light for him. I didn't make dinner. I haven't even started preparing it. I slide out of bed as gently as I can, hurrying to the door. Maybe I can still make something simple for dinner before he wakes up. I pause in the doorway for a long moment, looking back at his sleeping face with adoration. I'm still caught in that loving moment when he shifts in bed, opening his eyes and finding mine. My heart breaks in my chest. I can't do anything right. I need to at least start dinner, try to salvage something from tonight. As I turn away, he calls out to me, asking me to sit with him. I know I deserve to be scolded and sink into the bed in shame.
"What's wrong, sweetheart?"
He asks ever so gently. Had he called me sweetheart as I turned away? How can he feel that way about me? He knows what's wrong. I'm not good enough for him. He deserves someone better. It's nothing, I say, hiding my face in shame. He sighs in disappointment.
"It's okay if you don't want to talk to me. Something is bothering you. I would like to know what it is. Maybe I can help."
I sit there in the darkness, paralyzed by self-loathing and bewilderment. He could find someone so much better than me. But he loves me. I'm his sweetheart. I'm so confused, but I do know how much I need him. I lean into him, needing the solid reassurance of his touch, and he pulls me close. "I'm sorry," I start. "I fell asleep. I didn't turn on the light for you. I didn't fix dinner either. I was going to after I rested my eyes for a few minutes, but I fell asleep." He's silent. I wish I could tell what he's thinking. I feel his muscles start to tense. Then his breathing slows very deliberately. He's angry, but doesn't want to show it. I know I screwed up, but I can't help but cling tighter.
"I am here for you, sweetheart.
He calls me his sweetheart again, and my heart melts.
Always."
How does he always know just what I want to hear? I can't keep hurting him by being so selfish. I pull away. I don't deserve.
"Yes, you do."
The raw emotion in his voice stuns me into silence as he holds me tight, only to deliberately relax his grip slightly as he continues.
"I'm sorry. I shouldn't have interrupted."
He's quiet again, and I steal a glance up at his beautiful face, striving to read his thoughts. He looks me in the eyes and gives a slow, beckoning nod. I try to gather my thoughts, but they just pour out of me, my insecurities, my fears. It's just, you ask for so little, and I failed that, and you could do so much better than me. He laughs, and I almost burst into tears. He lifts a hand as if to beg for a moment to explain.
"Every day, my heart. Every day you are here for me. You love so well. I feel like I learn more about what love means by watching you, and then you say shit like that. If you could just look at yourself with unbiased eyes, you'd know why no one would ever want to let you go. You inspire me to be a better man, just so that I can be worthy of you. But then you go and say shit like that.
It's too much. My emotions are yo-yoing. I grab onto something real. But what about dinner? He's silent again, almost brooding in the darkness, and then he pulls out his phone. He seems to be looking for something. He tilts the screen towards me with images of a menu on it. I'm a mess and tell him that I need to take a quick shower. He joins me. It's really nice. Afterwards, I pick out an outfit that I think he'll like. A long black skirt he always seems to enjoy, and a tank top with a fairy dragon on it. He's watching as I dress, and I meet his gaze, bite my lip, and say, "Rawr." He laughs at me, and I'm sure my face must be even brighter than my tank top, but he pulls me close and whispers,
I love you.
in my ear. I bury my face in his neck and tell him, I love you too, so much, always. He must be in a good mood tonight. He pulls up a playlist to sing to while he drives. If I tried to tell him every time he did something that made me fall in love with him, I'd never have time to say anything else. How can I be so lucky? A few of my favorites come on as well, and I lend my voice to Christine as she sings her love for Raoul. Or at least I do until my husband breaks in with a rather atrocious falsetto. I laugh and groan and shake my head. I just cannot believe that man, ruining such a good song like that. It's moments like this, seeing his imperfections, I can almost believe that I could be worthy of him, and it makes me love him that much more. When he pulls into the parking lot, I get worried. I'm not sure whether the walls, the lights, or the sounds are louder. It's all cacophonous. I hurry around the car to cling to my husband.
Are you really okay with this, sweetheart?
He asks. I'm really not sure, but he wants to go here, and I screwed up dinner. I draw on my inner reserves and nod with a confidence that I don't feel. The door opens and I'm taken aback by the delicious aromas and the sizzle of the grills. My man is the best, and this meal is going to be great. A server starts to guide us to a table that has recently been cleaned, only for my husband to indicate another even more recently vacated. The server pauses for a moment before nodding and guiding us there instead. My husband ushers me into the right side bench, scooting in next to me as I try not to gag at the used dishes arrayed in front of me. The server does remove those quickly and wipes down the table as well. With the table cleared, I take a few breaths, realizing that I'm already cuddled against my husband. It's a bit darker and quieter in this corner, and his body shields me from the noise and bustle. I cling to him in rapture. Such a good man. We get a couple plates to share, steak and salmon dishes with grilled veggies. He tries to pull away when our plates arrive, but I'm not having any of that. He shakes his head and grabs a fork with his left hand, immobilizing our meats as I saw through them with a grin. I carefully lick the knife. So tasty. Nope, can't tell him that. He'd get jealous. He's pretty good with a grill, but this food is something else. I practically forget about the noise and garish decor. The food is worth it. All too soon, our meal is done, and I cling to my husband, burying my face in his neck as he awkwardly walks us back to the car. I snuggle into the passenger seat with a belly full of hot food and savor his lips when he presents them. I'm so happy gazing at him in adoration that I don't even realize when I drift off to sleep. His lips meet mine and I hum happily, licking them a bit to get some more of that tasty sauce. What a day, so happy. I open my eyes, only to realize that we aren't home. We're at the bowling alley. I blink and arch an eyebrow at my husband. Oh, really? Ready to get your butt kicked, mister? He gives me his trademark cocky grin.
Bring it on.
The bowling alley is practically deserted at this hour, one of the reasons that I prefer coming here late at night. I put on my bowling shoes and he gets us checked in, grabbing my favorite alley, number 8. When I look at it sideways, it means always, and he says he's always mine. I take a bit of a lead while he's putting on his own bowling shoes, making a point to sashay as I lead him to our alley. We trade taunts in good fun, but I know I'm going to win just because he's an incorrigible goof. I don't know where he comes up with these crazy stunt shots he tries every time we come here, but he makes a mess out of at least half of them, and somehow doesn't even look dismayed by the results. I end up laughing riotously when I'm not doing my absolute best to make bowling look sexy. I really hope he's enjoying the show. He deserves so much happiness, and I just hope I give him a small portion of what he gives me. By the time we leave, I'm tuckered out. I'm half asleep as he opens the door and I slide wearily into the passenger seat. I half wake again, long enough to hand him the seat belt, which he buckles for me. Such a good man. I dream of waves crashing on a beach as we dance across the moonlit shore. His lips on my brow wake me, and I snuggle into his neck, not even opening my eyes, just letting him guide me. He takes such good care of me.
Step.
His gentle voice penetrates the haze, and I lift my foot a little higher.
Bed.
He says. I love his voice so much. Gonna take it with me as I dream. He slides into bed with me, and I open my eyes long enough to tuck us in properly. So happy.
Happy Valentine's Day, beloved.
I smile. Silly man. Valentine's is tomorrow.